Shalom Pitbulls. Today I brought you a cool video, namely cars that make you look rich and help you finally lose your virginity.
Virgin.
That thing with your uncle doesn't count. Since hooking up with cheap women is the purpose of life for some fringe groups, we meet this essential desire for attention by going into some cars that look expensive but cost only a fraction of the new price thanks to depreciation. These cars are ideal if your PP is small and you want to forget about it.
Forget it.
That is why we're starting with a brand that oozes seriousness. The first generation Porsche Panamera. Admittedly, the Panamera looks like it's on substances, but like your uncle used to whisper in your ear at night when you were little, you can learn to love it.
I like this. This is cute.
You can get a Panamera in post-apocalyptic condition for as little as $20,000. But it's a Porsche, so you're automatically better than everyone, because Porsches are only driven by rich, fat cats. You can then confidently slap the Porsche key in someone else's face to show dominance.
You're under arrest.
Although the V8 engines are not known for living problem-free forever, a one-night stand is not called that for nothing. And the purulent venereal disease on your best piece is always worth it. Next, there's a little luxury class from the house of Mercedes, namely the CL500. This is based on the S-Class W221. To make the CL look even more badass, you can look on eBay and for body kits that you can get for little money. This has the side effect that the car should then look like the 63 AMG version with at least 525 horsepower, which of course you can't afford.
This is not right. This is not cool.
But for the average lady with no standards, that's enough because she can just barely put the last 5 brain synapses together and know it's a Mercedes. If there are optional AMG emblems glued everywhere, Karen knows that it is an AMG because there is a 90% probability that she went to elementary school. So you get a CL for just under $12,000, a body kit for $3,000, and then you have the option of deep-throating the hoe's remaining 5 brain cells. While you should spend at least $20,000 for a decent model, humans aren't known for making logical decisions. Let's get to a vehicle that's in the same league as the CL. Same price range, exotic status, makes noise, and has an arousing effect on the lady of your dreams, who is your sister.
What?
The Maserati Gran Turismo. This car has a Ferrari V8 engine that sounds like Jesus himself would come down and lick your ear. Unfortunately, the Maserati also has a few problems that cannot make maintenance cheap in the long run. Fortunately, instead of going to the emergency room, you only go to the workshop with the Maserati. There can be problems with the electrics and with the gearbox. You can get the first models for $30,000. Only God knows what their condition is.
No! God, please, no! No!
Saving to be able to afford a flawless Gran Turismo would be smart, but hey, we're rednecks, and intelligence is for liberals. Money doesn't bring happiness. The things that money can buy do. So leave a like on this video and subscribe for more dirty car videos like this. Let's move on to something from Japan. It's not sushi or hentai porn, it's a Nissan GTR, a car that competes with Lamborghini, Porsche, and Ferrari. Knew it was only about $100,000 that you had to pay for it, but the car is still in the super sports car segment. So these don't necessarily have to cost over $200,000 and your firstborn child. In addition, the tuning potential is so great that you can jump into the air when accelerating, since the car in its first version has a 3.8-liter V6 biturbo with 485 horsepower. With little effort, you can get 600 horsepower and extremes even over 1,000 horsepower. With this vehicle, you are guaranteed envious looks from they, them pronoun identifiers. In reality, you will find almost no vehicle that could compete with you in everyday life. The first generation went up to 100 kilometers per h in 3.5 seconds and only stops at 310 kilometers per h. Even someone who has no idea about cars knows from the look alone that you are something special in the vehicle. First models start at around $50,000. A while back, you could get them for under $40,000. Either I'm smoking the wrong stuff or the GTR has as much to do with depreciation as Justin Bieber does with being well-dressed.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
If you're wondering how you can afford that, here's the answer. Sell organs. It doesn't have to be your own. If you like big things, you need an SUV, a BMW X6 to be exact. The BMW X6 was launched in 2008 and is a cross between an SUV and a coupe. If you picture it, something big abused something small. At this point, I will save the reference to your uncle. The result was a vehicle that was an all-terrain vehicle, without off-road capability. So someone with no real identity.
How is that possible?
This makes it ideal for the motto, fake it till you make it. The Fatso looks cool, but the first models had some problems with the electronics, and for many were a complete bad design. Models are available in decent condition starting at $18,000. I would buy the X6, but I also like pineapple on pizza, so who am I? Let's move on to a car that used to cost $250,000 and is now available for as little as $25,000. We're talking about the Bentley Continental. While it may be that early models have a bit of electronic aids, you get 560 horsepower out of a W12 biturbo. As with my ex-girlfriend, the weight is enormous and the technology comes from VW and is assembled by the British. Bentley customers are typically millionaires, over 50 years old and mostly impotent. So it's a small price to pay for an image. In a vehicle like this, it makes the most sense to convince yourself you've made it and brag about fake Rolexes and China Gucci clothes on Instagram to finally land a toothless old bitch who knows more about crystal meth than Walter White.
You are done.
Pitbulls, if this video made you laugh, then subscribe to the channel and check out the other ungodly videos of mine. Also like and comment on every single video with 5 fake accounts and turn the bell on to not miss my next verbal orgy.